For generations, finding success in photography meant years of practice and refining your skills with different lenses and subjects. But with the rise of social media, some novice photographers have received an unexpected boost in popularity and notoriety.
For one photographer in northeastern Iowa, a single brush of internet virality led him to a role moderating outdoor imagery from across the planet.
Some photographers have lived their whole lives with an unending desire to capture the perfect image. Others stumble into the pursuit after acquiring a camera that they just cannot put down. And at the very end of the spectrum, there are people like Derek Bailey, who grew up in a family steeped in photography, but personally hated having his picture taken. And yet somehow he too eventually fell for the allure of taking pictures.
Well, actually, my mom is quite a bit of a photographer. Growing up, she would shoot weddings and senior portraits for friends and family and others, and a lot of pictures of us family members, and didn't like get my picture taken, so it wasn't something I ever really kind of picked up.
But after starting a family, photography once again creeped into Derek's life. His wife's burgeoning interest in taking family portraits pushed Derek to the internet in research of a right-priced high-end camera, and soon enough,
there's a lot to learn, a lot to take in, and once I kind of felt like I had all this knowledge and picked out the camera we kind of wanted, I wanted to go out and use it, and it's just kind of grown from there. And
with his interest growing, Derek quickly found his niche in photography, somewhere he never anticipated to end up.
It's kind of funny, I got wife wanted to get in to take pictures of kids, and actually it's something I've just not done a real good job of, but I have kind of found I enjoy the landscape photography. Getting out in Iowa, take a lot of pictures of Iowa.
After falling for landscape photography, it was another family member who actually pushed him to sharing his work online, a move that would ultimately lead to a higher profile and new role.
I got a brother who also actually is kind of into photography. He lives out in Seattle and does real estate photography professionally. And he's the one that kind of suggested, hey, why don't you put your pictures on Instagram and so I can see them. But as I was on it more and more and found communities on Instagram and kind of got involved in some, and my presence on there has kind of grown more.
As Derek continued to post photos of Iowa and tag specific Instagram pages, one particular post gained the attention of a few feature pages who ended up sharing Derek's work with thousands of Instagram users.
I took one morning of a fence post. You know, the lighting wasn't real great, it was kind of dark, but kind of was able to edit in a way that I thought kind of looked good, and I went ahead and posted it. That was this summer, and actually a couple pages, feature pages, picked it up and featured it and got quite a few likes, and so it was kind of interesting to have a picture get 2,000 or 3,000 likes on it.
One of the feature pages that shared Derek's fence picture was Country Features, and with his interest piqued, Derek responded to a call for new moderators.
I didn't really understand the whole process real well. I know they'd featured a few of my pictures, and I thought that was pretty neat. But I did reply back to the moderator request and kind of welcome me aboard. So it's really neat to be able to, when you see a picture you like, you select it and then repost it and start seeing, hundreds of people, thousands of people within an hour start liking that photo.
Feature pages like Country Features are common throughout Instagram. Chances are, if you're looking for a particular collection of like photos on the popular social network, there is a feature page waiting for you.
So typically these feature pages, they'll be focused around a certain type of photography. There's black and white, there's landscape features, there's ones that are country related and ocean related, sunsets, anything you can think of, there's usually a feature page. They each have their own hashtag, a dedicated hashtag that you would need to include in the comments on your picture. And then what the moderators do, they'll go look through the pictures each day or period of time, and they'll search for all the photos posted with that hashtag. So if I post a picture on my own personal page, a few hundred people see it. But if a feature page like Country Features were to pick it up and repost it now, there's 50,000 people that get to see it. It's a big deal to these artists. Some of the comments they reply back is pretty neat. They're really appreciative of being able to have their work shared and exposed like that.
Of course, part of the benefit of sharing with a feature page is Instagram users tend to see something they like and then go directly to the source.
50,000 people is a lot of people, but there's kind of a little bit of community there too, and people start recognizing that the same people get posted, and or if they see something they like posted on the Country Features, they tend to go look at that artist page as well, and we'll probably start following you directly, and so it's kind of neat. It really kind of grows. And
if you're wondering what kind of photo Country Features is looking for, think broadly. The criteria for what's considered country is not defined.
We're open to an open interpretation of country. Country can mean anything any number of things, any number of people. So I believe we got 2 moderators in Australia, 1 in the UK, 1 in Canada. We've got several across all time zones in the United States. So you do get a variety. You know, what speaks to me might be different than what speaks to some of the other people. You know, I tend to like the landscapes and the big dramatic skies, and you know, some other moderators tend to like a little more, maybe a smaller setting or more focus on a closer up subject. We got some guys that are big fans of cows, so.
While the Country Features audience is international, Derek loves the opportunity to share his home state with the rest of the world.
Moderating for Country Features, I've had the opportunity to sometimes pick up on some Iowa artists. That's always kind of fun to be able to put them out there. A little extra pride when you kind of know it's a homeboy or someone close to you.
So with the world waiting, who should share with feature pages like Country Features? Anyone. That is, anyone who's comfortable with possibly reaching an audience of thousands.
There's no harm in tagging. You might be surprised. You know, we're not looking for professional photos. A lot of them, you can tell, are just iPhone. I think currently there's almost 250,000 photos flagged as with the Country Features hashtag. So, you know, they're not all professional. It's everything. So if you're comfortable with your picture being shared, I'd say go for it.